Hello everyone and welcome to the 78th members meeting. We've waited 18 months for this, but boy is it worth the wait. We've got a packed schedule.
The first 12C ever built. Behind that, they're just coming, as you can see, they're just going through shot, the 12C.
Technicalities, but you were saying on the radio, Goodwood Radio this morning, but those now have sort of an extra sort of layer of we were the originals. Yes. Well, Nick's going out of St Mary's. Oh, the golf guessed one way because he suddenly found himself catching the yellow Dolomite, and behind both of them, Nick Swift is on the outside. He's left hand wheels right on the painted white line at the edge of the circuit.
And he's got to get through the chicane first. It goes, yes, well saved, Gregor. That looked a little bit close to the edge for a moment, but he got away with that. It was mighty, but then got excluded from the race for a technical infringement. But there, totally sideways. I told you you'd find out why he was called Skid Scarborough, and it's just absolutely right to have Graham on this grid, isn't it?
That's a fantastic lap. The others will get closer, but what he did, super sideways around the outside at St Mary's by Nick Padmore, entertaining in that UFO Capri. But
look at the effort being put in. Massive steering wheel correction. Big slide. He's still sliding. He's still fighting it. Brilliant stuff. Just about comes out as the winner of that battle with the car.
Takes the amazing beast of Turin, 28 litres, 4 cylinders, and Duncan wrestling with the gear change and the handbrake.
We have here Emanuele Pirro. Not only are you racing many cars this weekend, but you are also a house captain.
Yes.
Tell us what it means to be a house captain.
Well, you know, it's divided in 4 houses, like in a British school. And yeah, I have the privilege to be house captain of my Torbolton house, which means I have to wear this very beautiful and smart outfit. But I would like to take this opportunity to say hi and welcome all the fellow members of the Torbolton house and tell you, try hard, we might win this time.
It just makes me smile, it makes me laugh, and as it's getting brighter as well, it's great to have these cars out there.
Well, it is, and as the session cycles through, we're going to start to see the times drop, and another huge slide coming out of Lavant Corner then.
Consecutive lap for Adrian Wilmot, 2 minutes 1, 2 minutes flat, but it's Anthony Reid fastest in the 75 Mustang, and very taily. Or is it Anthony Reid?
I think that's Murray Shepherd.
I think it's Murray Shepherd.
Looking at the helmet, yeah, on the overalls.
So a little bit frustrated, being a little bit bottled up in the number 12, but doing the right thing and tucking in behind in that Alexis.
Well, Stuart Roach is sideways, but he corrects that. Again, treaded tyres. Replay of, is that Donna Roach getting it wrong? It is, so that's the pole man throwing away a lap that started well. Generation of Italian hot shoes. It was so successful all around the world, but it produced many a good driver, many a constructor.
I think this is going to be a fantastic demonstration, as you're going to see all of the cars that in effect inspired the T50 we just saw on screen with Dario Satt in it. So that's what a fantastic demonstration of cars.
Probably not focused on anything apart from thinking, didn't I race against that yellow Charger, the Gordon Murray Duckham's LM4? Of course he did, but that was in his early sports car career.
Now, some interesting features here. You can see how big the rear diffuser is now, because you can actually see the drive shafts turning, which pass through the diffuser, just to see how far forward the diffuser starts.
I think it's the agility of the two strokes, of course, the little 350s and the odd 250. And funnily enough, I was probably one of the first people to ride one of those bikes. It was the first time that Yamaha opted for the power valve system on the twin cylinders, and I tested it out in Japan in 1980, and that.
We're seeing a replay of Tom Waterfield coming through the chicane. Nice, and you won't. That is a pinch perfect line. Big
touch of opposite lock.
It does indeed, and big. Oh no, that's number 60. So that is, yes, that is Tom Waterfield. So a bit caught by traffic there. Big sliding moment. He came through Lavant. It's getting very close there, Tom. I don't know if the car in front has seen you.
Tiff, why don't you come in as well?
I've got to go to the commentary box.
Oh, you're all right. You're all right.
I'm rushing up there.
Tiff,
no, I like it.
I was just talking about the 1991 races. Happy memories?
What?
Happy memories of those races in
Not
91?
many, no, not really. It was a nightmare.
Ian, were they a nightmare to drive?
I've got a lot to thank Tiff for, because Tiff sponsors Bancor in those days. We got friendly with them, and they then sponsored me in '92 for the start of the touring car season. So
that's where my money went. Well, I'll have it back now. They owe me money. Now I know you had some. Can I have it back?
One of these belongs to Valentine Lindsay, doesn't it? And I think
The Armour was very great for the drive. We're all professional drivers, you know, earning some money just to race them. So maybe the owners were more going to collect the million than us.
Andre Lotterer, you've driven plenty of cars around Goodwood now, but this GT40 is a bit new to you, isn't it?
Yes, it's new. First time I'm going to try it. I'm very excited. Always one of my dream cars, and now I have the opportunity to drive it. So, and it's beautiful in blue. So hopefully it won't be too difficult in the greasy conditions. But yeah, should be good fun.
Right now we're looking at a Lotus 23, smaller, less powerful, far more nimble. And at the moment, the fastest car is the one we're looking at, the number 11. Early days in this half-hour session, but again, pushing it right to the edge and almost feel confident and comfortable. And there, unfortunately, the car that was fastest very early on, Michael O'Brien, showing us. Now that is a save of the day so far. That was a real ticking of the talk. And the pace of these drivers as Kristensen comes through the chicane, gets the car straightish, and then accelerates. He should go to the top.
Should indeed. So up towards the timing line comes Tom Kristensen. Right, that's Nigel Greensall then, who is on another quick lap and has done another absolute best within the first sector. So if he was quick on the last one, he could be even quicker there. The car absolutely on the limit.
I see a replay of it here now, and he just got too much oversteer, caught the grass, and we've had rain around the circuit so far today, so there's going to be no grip, especially on the grass, and he just found that. He recovered it fairly well though.
Right. How is Nigel Greensall getting on? Well, the answer is he has gone purple, in other words, better than anybody in the session within the first sector. He's not done yet either, because he might still be able to wring a bit more out of the car on this last lap.
And he's a brand ambassador of ours, so we're lucky enough to have him, and he is just an absolute gentleman.
No, he is through and through, and so down to Madrick, you can go down through the gears, boom, 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 get a feel for the car, and all pro drivers, they can just get a feel super quickly. It's great to see these cars and the bloodlines, and to have the celebration of the Gordon Murray experience and his automotive, and the fact he's still creating.
He's ready, the Union flag falls, we go racing, and a good start made then by Nick Swift. Got one of the Dolomites on its toes, further back, darting from one side of the grid to the other. Ollie Streets Metro puts all four wheels on the grass, bounces into the air, lurches back onto the circuit. Swift has come to a halt then. The man that was in the lead in the race, Nick Swift, is out of the race. This is perhaps the biggest shock of the day. He was an absolute shoe-in to win it. Let's ride on board and listen.
He's obviously had some kind of significant mechanical failure there. The suspension has perhaps let go, or a puncture, and he just lost all ability to steer.
And so now we have a Volkswagen 1-2. It is Jim Morris in the lead ahead of Tom Shepherd. It's Golf ahead of Sirocco. This, remember, it's for second place as they get to the braking area, but Rupert Deep's already moved across and come to the line. Brakes as late as he dares. We're into the second half of the race as they come up towards the line now. Again to the outside line, approaching St Mary's. They turn, clock ticks on down, but Simon Goodliff on the attack, thinks about the inside line. This is his best chance yet. He's done it. He goes through on the inside line. So finally Simon Goodliff does dive through, coming into the first part of St Mary's, and they've got the second place battle bearing down on them. Then Simon Goodliff in the Fiesta goes to the inside line. In the middle tries to go the Mini of Rupert Deep. They're side by side for second. The Mini goes ahead. Which way does he go now? The gap narrows, but he has done it. He's gone back ahead of the Fiesta. So for second place, Rupert Deep, really opportunistic stuff that. Jim Morris may never have such an easy race win again. Comes right, left, through the chicane. His team applaud on the pit wall, and it is going to be honours in the first heat for the Gerry Marshall Trophy. Now we do have a checkered flag. It goes out to a delighted Jim Morris. You can see how much that means to him. For second place, one of the drives of the day, Rupert Deep get the race underway. The flag drops. Now it is blast off. Who makes the best start? A good getaway by Jake Hill. Good start by Nick Padmore, but he gets swamped as they go up through the gears.
Tetley goes through around the outside into Lavin. That was because Whittaker had to go defensive. Jack was able just to take the normal line.
Into the chicane comes Jake Hill. He needs Nick Padmore to be a bit of a roadblock, doesn't he, and let him escape. But Jack Tetley here is really hustling on in the Chevrolet. Head of the queue, Stuart Graham, and James Wood 10th, but there's a real struggle to match me. This is the change for second. Jack Tetley just unstoppable in the dry now. They're able to fend him off, but they're absolutely nose to tail now for the race lead.
Yeah, and I think this is where Jack Tetley is going to get a run on the way up to Ford Water. He's going to force Jake Hill through the water splash this time. Jake having to take the defensive inside line, but it's not enough. Jack has just enough of an advantage. They are literally bumper to bumper on the way through the dip. Not closing the door completely, just saying, I've got this covered if I need to, Steve. That'll help Steve on the way out of the corner now. You could see how the Capri had the legs on the exit. He's alongside into the kink. They're side by side. Who's going to be latest on the brakes as the circuit jinks left, jinks right in the middle of the braking zone here. Steve's got it done.
He's applying the pressure all the time, trying to force a mistake out of Jack. He wants him to go wide. 5 minutes are on the clock. The two cars dance their way onto the back straight. Tetley's all sideways. He hangs on to it, but here comes Jake Hill on the outside line there. The Capri tries to level with the Chevrolet. They dive now through Ford Water. There's barely any room between them at all, but Jake Hill keeps on coming on the inside line. The gap disappears. Fantastic racing. Look at this. This is all for fourth place. Nick Padmore, Mike Whittaker, Stuart Graham has got ahead of Steve Soper, James Wood in the Rover, back marker Jonathan White in the Capri just up the road ahead of them. They're going on to the last lap, around which the race leaders are already, and Jack Tetley in the first sector has pulled away again from Jack Tetley. I think has done enough, hasn't he? He's managed to pull away just sufficiently from Jake Hill, but a great battle between the two of them. Let's just get these across the line. Jake kicking up the dirt, kicking up the water out of the puddles. He has thrown everything at that. Jack Tetley's going to come through to win a really lively second heat in the Gerry Marshall Trophy. Jake Hill, does he lift or has he got a problem at the end? Because the gap suddenly widened. Whether that was him thinking, no, I can't do it. And so the flag falls. We go racing with a good start made by Hughie Walker from pole position. And everybody now accelerates down towards Madgwick. Well, it might have been a good start by Hughie Walker, but it's going to be Ben Collins then from the second row who will lead Duncan Pittaway into Madgwick for the first time. How's the pole position driver getting on? Hughie Walker needs to fight back. Julian Majube there tries to threaten the Beast of Turin into the chicane. Oh, no, you don't, says Duncan Pittaway. Ben Collins, though, has already done the first lap of the race. There he is, out on his own.
Well, if it wasn't for Ben Collins, it'd be a really, really close five-car battle for the lead of the race, being held up by Duncan Pittaway. They've got to find a way past him. It looks though that's happening inside into Madgwick. Has he been seen? Duncan Pittaway wise to that.
And also recovering now in fifth place, the pole position driver Hughie Walker. But there, up into second place now, has gone Hughie Walker. So the man that was on pole position and one of the most spectacular drivers out there, he is on a mission. So let's see now whether he can close in 3.5 laps on the leader.
Very busy at lap. And then the bonnet suddenly flapping open on the blitz and bends. I know Ben Collins knows his circuit well, but this is very tricky for the race leader.
Yeah, but the bigger worry is that suddenly gets ripped off and flies towards him, never mind anybody else. And I think Ben Collins is going to have to park it. He is. Yes, he's backed off. So Ben Collins comes to a halt. Real shame after the domination, but he can jump out, try and attend to that and get back into the race. Starting to fade as Julian Majube takes the race lead. Look, he was 1.9 seconds back and he's gone through, but do not think that is the end of the battle, because Hughie Walker will throw everything at this. Look, straight away he's round the outside coming through St Mary's. He looks to the inside line over the rise into Lavant. He can't do it there. Yes, he does. He's closer, he's quicker, he's arguably braver. Very sideways indeed. And look, Julian Majube suddenly has to fend off Walker because they arrive at the chicane absolutely nose to tail, ready to start the last lap. Left-hander, Walker again looks to the outside line. They're not quite wheel to wheel because Julian Majube's Sunbeam Indianapolis has just got the run coming out of the corner, but Walker lines up for Lavant and he's done it. Great move.
Could he get the braking done? That was super brave. You know what? Julian Majube saw that and there's no point blocking. They've got another race tomorrow.
There's a gap on the inside line. Julian Majube lines up to have a go, but on the outside line, Hughie Walker brakes as late as he dares, coming into the right of Woodcourt. Flicks it sideways. He's done enough, surely, with all of the opposite lock. As predicted, a spectacular race, and in the end, it's going to be a bit of a margin, isn't it? And Hughie Walker has pulled. Duff start, but what a recovery. Fights the car out of the chicane, all over the grass, back onto the circuit. He hangs on in there, and yes, Hughie Walker comes up towards the line to win part one of the SF Edge Trophy. Another cracking race. Julian Majube comes home in second place. Union flag to drop to get the Pierpoint Cup underway, which it is now. Lots and lots of tar smoke from Adrian Wilmot and from Nick Jarvis as they light up the rear tires, blasting away from the line. Alex Taylor in the yellow Mustang makes a good start. They turn then with Adrian Wilmot then hitting the front. So he backed out of it at the first corner, goes to the outside line. Is there going to be contact between the two? They lean on each other. Yes, the Studebaker gets elbowed out wide. Jarvis gets back into the lead. Alex Taylor tries to get a gap on the inside and he can't do it. Another challenge made on the inside line there. Look, Alex Taylor comes under attack from Anthony Reid on the inside line, but Alex Taylor is able to keep his elbows out and fend off Anthony Reid, and that takes some doing. Much as he's trying to take second place away, some of the work can be done by his co-driver in the second stint, but Nick Jarvis is doing a very good job of defending here. A few years ago he would have been easy pickings, but he really has developed as a driver. This battle for second place though now goes the way of Davis, because second is Craig Davis, and this is the fight for third then. Nick Jarvis just ahead of Emanuele Pirro. Now for the blue and white Piro-driven Falcon, he's got to do the hard yards. He's quicker than Chris Clarkson with respect to him, so
it's just pot luck as to whether or not you get a clean run down the pit lane and there's a nice clean space available for you to park your car and do a driver change without being balked, without being interrupted by another car, and that can change the order massively.
Right now, Emmanuel Piro tries to change the order by squeezing up the inside of number 1, Nick Jarvis, the 2 Ford Falcon Sprints. It's like 2 aircraft carriers getting side by side, isn't it? So even though Adrian Wilmot is out on his own, admittedly only by a 10th, but Bill Shepherd has gone quicker. Adrian Wilmot here hanging on to the advantage.
On the outside, it just got a little bit loose, didn't it? Over the crest there, he had to correct, and that the car always wafts a car's width to the left as it goes light over that crest that we saw, but he was gathering up a separate moment, and once on the grass, that Mustang looks beautifully balanced. Oh, flames licking out of the exhaust as he closes the throttle and teases the brake.
4th place Stig here in Marco Attard's Ford Falcon Sprint. This is very, very different from Tom's usual front-wheel drive Hyundai, the British Touring Car Championship, but he goes up on the inside line there, and he makes the move stick, and he made that look pretty easy. And 3rd place beckons as well. David Gooding is just up the road, look. So he goes to the outside of David Gooding. He could be on, but yes, he is on for 3rd place. And he's going to do it now, round the outside. David a bit unsettled there, but Tom comes through. He's trying to defend. He has another look on the inside there. Last lap approaching St Mary's, gets up the inside of Steve Blomqvist. He's going to go through. Soper tries to close right up as well. Treluyer released, but he's got traffic up the road ahead of him, so Blomqvist might be able to fight back. There is right there as well Steve Soper. Andrew Jordan and Adrian Wilmot, though, are going to come through to win the Pierpoint Cup. A race interrupted by the safety car, then by lots of pit stops all at the same time, and a runaway win for Adrian Wilmot and Andrew Jordan across the line to win the Pierpoint Cup. Dominant performance.
They've had a feel of them before, so hopefully they know where the damp is and they can push hard where it isn't.
Yeah, Martin, lovely, very nicely done. In his Celica GT4 into the hairpin there. I did see a yank on the brake that time on the handbrake. Nicely done around the hairpin guy. And then back onto the track. Into our sight now, and he'll slide it nicely. Beautiful oversteering moment as he storms past after the excuses. I was just trying to help.
I was just wondering, if there's a floodlight or something that's maybe, hindering their view.
Yeah, avoids the bales on the left-hand side. Did that very nicely. Uses all the road coming back onto the track. Beautiful. He carries a lot of speed through the chicane as well, back onto the track. Feeding the car gears as he then brakes heavily. Bit of a lock-up before the left-hander. He's got it stopped nicely. Turns left. Bit of a slightly moment, as you'd expect from an Escort, into the complex. Flicks it left and right. Wow, he was close to the bales through there, and beautifully done round the hairpin. This is a masterclass in how to drive a Ford Escort quickly round a tight and twisty circuit.
Let's see if we can get this launch right. He's got it off the line. Yes.
It's so quick.
Good effort. This could be good now. He's probably feeling better about himself, having not stalled it this time.
And also he's got tomorrow as well, so lots of time to make this up. But wow, look at that. That's properly committed round the hairpin. So that brings to a close a fantastic day of track action here at Goodwood, and we are back tomorrow morning for stage 2 of the rally special.